Hi, Josh Sinners here. I just got done watching the Google event, and they announced a lot of interesting stuff today. Nothing as interesting, though, as yesterday's announcement that a whole bunch of Google Plus data leaked, and as a result, they're shutting it down. So I'm not sure, they're going to knock that story out of orbit the way they're hoping they will with this event. And at this point, if you're a little more leery about keeping your data with Google, then I don't blame you because one of the big arguments, even I've used this argument for keeping your data with Google, is that it's super secure. And up until that point, I don't think they'd ever had a major or noteworthy leak, but that has since changed. Of course, now Google Plus wasn't the most popular service, but we're still talking about millions of accounts. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, fortunately, I don't think it's anything like super personal, but there's always more stuff that comes out in the wash. And if Google Plus got breached, who knows what else in Google may have been breached. But anyway, on to new hardware. They announced a lot of stuff today. Now, for Apple users, which is what I want to focus on here, there's plenty of people covering, strictly the Google space. I want to give a quick review. So the three main products are the Google Pixel 3, the Google Home Hub, which is a Google Home speaker with a screen attached to it, and the Google Pixel Slate. Real quick, I want to talk about the updated Chromecast. It comes in, I think, two colors now. There's a white one and a black one. It looks slightly different. Some sites have reported that it's not a spec boost. That is not true. There's a 15% improvement in speed according to Google. So, that is not true. But now, whether it's distinction with a difference, I don't think so. I have a Chromecast 4K. It works perfectly fine. I haven't noticed any stuttering, any lag at all. So if you have a Chromecast 4K, don't feel the need to update to this new one just yet. There's no point. But now, hey, if you don't have a Chromecast, if you're running off of a Roku, Apple TV, I think the Chromecast is a fantastic secondary device, especially if you pair it with the Google Home, because unlike Apple TV, unlike pretty much anything else, you can use voice commands to control your TV. Now, Fire TV does have one with Alexa built in, but reviews haven't been too great on that, and frankly, I haven't tried it. So, but I do like the Chromecast, and Chromecast has a lot of ecosystem support, so it's a nice thing to have as a secondary, especially if your TV supports HDMI CEC, which lets you change inputs automatically depending on what's received as signal. So I really like Chromecast in that regard. Now, let's talk about the main events, so to speak. If you are a Apple person. The first one, I'll just mention the Pixel 3 real quick. If you're an iPhone user, you may feel tempted to switch because the Pixel 3 is at around $800. It's a lot more affordable than most of the iPhone 10, iPhone X, whatever you will call it. It's more affordable than most of that line, although the XR will be even cheaper than this. I think that the XR is like 750. The Pixel 3 starts at about $800. So and then the Pixel 3 XL starts at about $900. So overall, less expensive than the iPhone XS. And there's some Apple cribbed features in here, such as digital well-being, which is Google's answer to screen time. If you're looking to make that switch, I think the Google Pixel 3 is an excellent choice if you want to enter the Android world. Just remember now, stuff like iCloud Photos, iMessage is the big one. Apple Music, there is an Android app for that. But if you keep your photos with Apple, you have a hard time moving them. My suggestion in that case would be to get the Google Photos app on your iPhone, let it upload that stuff to Google servers. It's free as long as you use their more limited file sizes, which is still pretty generous. You're still getting high resolution pictures and 1080p video, just not 4K. So, let Google Photos handle that. I like Google Photos anyway, and and it's nice to have a backup in case iCloud Photos isn't working. So, I'm going to come back to the Pixel because I think the Pixel offers the most interesting features out of any of these. There's the Google Home Hub, which is a Google Home. It looks like a larger speaker than the base model Google Home. The Google Home, I think it's running around $100 right now. They keep having sales on it, so the price fluctuates a bit. But this Google Home Hub with a screen built into it is going to sell later this month. Yes, it's hitting the shelves October 22nd, Best Buy, Target, Walmart, and others for $149, which is very reasonable. And I believe you get some, you get 6 months of YouTube Premium with the hub, so that's a pretty good deal. That's what like YouTube Premium is about like $10 a month, so you get an extra $30. So you really get it for about 120, assuming you want the YouTube Premium features. YouTube Premium used to be called YouTube Red, so that's the thing to know there. You know, and it's an I can't say as far as the product just yet. It seems like the big selling point, YouTube videos, Google Photos, and recipe help. So you know, the Google Home, it can walk you through a recipe, but you still got to be able to look at stuff. You still got to be able to read stuff. So it might be interesting from that regard. And it looks like they're getting more into the smart home space in their demo video. So you know, we'll see how that goes. I will not be buying one immediately. I have a Google Home and 2 Google Home Minis. I'm quite happy with them. And they seem like they're getting all the new features that everything else is getting, except other than the screen. So I wouldn't be in a rush to buy this just yet. I think it's a perfectly good thing. You know, if you want to get one, more power to you. It's a very reasonably priced device, but it's not for me just yet. The last major release I'll cover is the Google Pixel Slate, which is a new Chrome OS tablet, very much in the style of a Surface Pro or an iPad Pro. It has the optional Pixel Pen and an optional click-on keyboard, very similar to the Smart Cover keyboard for the iPad Pro. It's sort of an interesting device. They've redesigned Chrome OS a little bit. They've taken some Android cues from it. It now has a dock and some other little things like that. So it's almost kind of Windows-like or Mac-like in a way. And the interesting thing, it runs Android apps, which that's been standard in Chrome OS for a while, at least on certain devices. But this seems like it's the first Pixel device, first Google device that really builds that in. So it's kind of like having an Android tablet. And so you're starting to see where Google is going with this. So Android on the phone, Chrome OS on the tablet, at least for now. Maybe Chrome OS will shift down to the phone. We know they're working on Fuchsia. Who knows whether we'll ever see it or not. It may just be a project that's there to kick certain developers in the butt. That's definitely a thing Larry Page loves doing. So, you know, they always have 2 competing things inside Google. Anyone who uploads to YouTube is very familiar with that development strategy. So, long story short, do I think this is worth it for an Apple user? No. I'm going to tell you why. Chrome OS, you know, I think Chrome OS is great, especially in the education environment. It's great to have a cheap $200 laptop that, you know, you can throw away and you don't have to worry about data or anything because all the data syncs through the cloud. But here's the thing, is that you know, web apps, I can run web apps on a potato. I don't need anything special to run a web app. I don't get the point of high dollar, and this is, I think it's like an $800, okay, it's $600, starts at $600, but then the keyboard is $200. So really, you're looking about an $800 tablet laptop replacement to run web and Android apps, and there's cheaper ways of doing that. If you have an iPad already, even the basic $329 iPad, I think, will be just as capable as this, if not more so. Granted, you can't use the slick click-in keyboard, but there's a number of good Bluetooth keyboards that will work just as well, and it can use the Apple Pencil. So I think, I mean, even if you're not an Apple person, I think the iPad is the better buy. I'm not sure who is going to buy this device. Because it seems to eliminate a lot of the advantages of a cheap Chrome OS device. Have they said how much? Nothing about storage. Nothing about storage right here on the announcement. So that'll be interesting to see. You do get, I think, 3 months of YouTube TV, which I think is probably the best service of its class. But you know, are you going to spend $600 on a tablet just to watch live TV? Again, iPad. You know, even if you get iPad, you pay for 3 months of YouTube TV, you're still saving hundreds of dollars. I don't see the purpose of this device unless you're a huge Android geek. Thanks for watching my analysis of Google's announcements today. Be sure to subscribe to this channel because I do want to post a follow-up. This video ran a little long, but I want to talk about the camera stuff in the Google Pixel, which I think has huge implications for the Apple ecosystem and for photography as a whole. There's some very exciting computational stuff they're doing there, as well as some hardware improvements that kind of put Apple on the spot. So be sure to subscribe to this channel so you get that next video. And please, if you like this video, or even if you don't like this video, either way, drop a like on the video so people can see it, and also give me a comment. Let me know what you think. Are you going to be buying any of these devices? Just whatever you're thinking, drop a comment. Let me know. Thanks for watching.